31 days. That's how long it took for the world to realize Caylee Anthony was gone. But for her mother, Casey, it wasn't a month of searching, it was a month of partying, club contests, and a new tattoo that translated to the beautiful life. While a toddler vanished into the Florida humidity, a mother was building a maze of lies so thick, even the police couldn't find the exit. My name is Lost, and today, we're finding the truth buried beneath the most infamous cover-up in American history. What's going on, everyone? I hope your day is going great. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Lost, and this is where we dissect the cases that don't just haunt us, they defy logic. My team and I have been pulling FOIA records and deep diving into the details most people overlook, because on this channel, we don't just tell stories. We break them apart. I've got a massive lineup of requested cases coming, so if you're into true crime that hits a little different, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the evidence. To understand how a mother could let her daughter disappear for a month without calling the cops, you have to understand the girl Caylee Anthony was before the headlines. Caylee was a specialist in deception. The first major warning sign? High school graduation. Her parents, George and Cindy, had the party planned, the invite sent, the cake ordered. It wasn't until the day before the ceremony, when they called the school for details, that they found out Caylee wasn't even graduating. She had been failing for months, watching her parents celebrate a lie. That was the blueprint. In 2005, Caylee gets pregnant at 19. She manages to hide the pregnancy for 7 months just by wearing baggy clothes. When Caylee is born on August 9, the lies only get more complex. Caylee claims she has a high-paying job at Universal Studios and a nanny named Zanny, who watches the baby. But here's the reality, no one in the family has ever met Zanny. And as we're about to find out, Caylee didn't even have a job. Everything changed on June 16, 2008. That was the last day anyone saw 2-year-old Caylee alive. Caylee tells her parents she's going on a business trip to Tampa. For the next month, she stays at her boyfriend's apartment. While her daughter is missing, Caylee is entering sexy body contests at local clubs and posting photos of herself dancing on bars. The house of cards collapsed because of a car. Caylee had abandoned her parents' Pontiac Sunfire in a parking lot after running it out of gas. When her father, George, a former cop, went to the impound lot to pick it up, he opened the door and was hit by a smell he knew he'd never forget. It wasn't trash. It was the unmistakable scent of human decomposition. When Cindy Anthony finally confronted Caylee and realized Caylee was gone, she called 911 3 times. She told the dispatcher, "It smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car." Caylee's response? She blamed Zanny the Nanny. She told police Zanny had kidnapped Caylee. The police decided to play along to see how far she'd go. They took Caylee to Universal Studios to meet her boss. She walked them through the employee entrance, acting like she belonged, leading them in circles through a maze of offices. She finally hit a dead-end hallway, turned around, and simply said, "I don't work here." It was a psychological standoff she was never going to win. While Caylee sat in jail, the forensics team was tearing that Pontiac apart. They found high levels of chloroform in the trunk and a single hair. Under a microscope, that hair showed a death band, a dark stain that only occurs when a body is decomposing. Then they checked the family computer. Someone had Googled how to make chloroform. Caylee's mom tried to take the fall, saying she was searching for chlorophyll for her dogs, but the logs proved Caylee was the only one home. On December 11, 2008, a utility worker found a small skull in a trash bag less than a mile from the Anthony home. It was Caylee. Duct tape was found near the jaw. The beautiful life Caylee was living was built on the most horrific secret imaginable. The trial that followed would go down as one of the most controversial in history, ending in a verdict that left the world stunned. But regardless of the legal outcome, the facts of Caylee's deception remain. This was a case about a mother who chose herself over her child, and a family that was lost in a web of their own making. Thanks for hanging out today. If this case bothered you as much as it did me, let's talk about it in the comments. I'm Lost, and I'll see you in the next one.